The names of high-profile politicians and celebrities who associated with the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein are now public. This after a New York federal judge unsealed hundreds of pages of court documents linked to Epstein and his former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell.
Our chief legal analyst, Khalif Rhodes, is joining us. And Khalif, this has been a big fight to keep these documents sealed. It's not the case this week.
You have high-powered people that are involved in these cases, so they have normally high-powered attorneys that are attempting to do everything they can to keep it sealed. They kept it sealed as long as they can, but at some point you got to release it. Unless it's a document that's protecting national security, then you will kind of keep it sealed a lot longer. But in this case, these are just regular individuals, not national security documents, not putting anybody at risk, just putting their personal lives and things that they were doing with an individual that is alleged and convicted of doing some very sick things that put them in connection with him. And so you're talking about high-powered people like the former presidents of the United States on that list, people in entertainment, both movie and music. And so that list has people that can pull strings across the board. And so I am not surprised that it took this long to come out.
So what's going to happen with some of these names? Because 40 documents released out of 250, more names may come out. Some of these names we already knew about. Is there protection there? I'm sure no one wants to be associated with this.
I was going to say no one wants to be associated with it, but I think the top two that you can point to is former President Clinton, and you can point to the former President Trump as if he needed anything else on top of his mounting legal issues. I don't think currently there'll be any pending, criminal investigations that will lead out of this, because if it would have been, you would have already seen it happen. However, any damage that would have come out from this with his name attached to it from his base won't hurt him. But those folks that may have been undecided, I don't think that he can attach himself to any of those individuals with the connection to this. Even though it was known, seeing it on paper is something totally different.